Welcome back. So thank you for coming back to our webinar session. So this section we will talk about the 16 Pro, Q16 Pro 4 units, and we will check out the IP input modules. So the Q16 Pro 4, we have the IP input module. It can decoding H.264 and H.265 IP string signals. If you have multiple IP cameras or you have IP streaming from the network, you can use the IP input modules and use that. You can decode up to 16 IP signals, and you can assign those 16 inputs to the outputs. So let's check out first. We'll check out the input modules, and then we'll check out the how to configure them. So you can see I have installed one into our Q16 Pro 4 units right there, and let's check out the input module here. So that's the the IP input module. So it supports decoding H.265 and H.264. It's a 2K input module. So it supports RTSP streaming, IP string, and supporting up to 16 4K signals. Okay. So for installation, you have to install the IP input module right there into the Q16 Pro, and then you will connect the okay. Then you will connect the network cable, the Ethernet cable, to the IP input modules. Make sure that that cable is connected to the same switch or same network with your other, for example, other devices, for example, IP cameras, or your other your network with other server that with the IP streamings. So the IP input module were able to pick up the IP signal from the network. So okay, let's go to our Xbox. Check out how to configure the input module, the IP input module, and how to decoding. Okay, so that's the Xbox which is connected. Okay, so let me show. I have set up actually 3 sources. So 2 PTZ camera which support streaming to RTSP, supporting RTSP string. So that's my 2 camera. You can check out the output right here, and that's the another one right here. That's my 2 PTZ camera. So each PTZ camera right now, I have set the format to H.264, and also this one H.264 the encoding formats. And I have another H.264 encoder here, which is getting inputs from my another laptop, which is playing videos, and it also can support RTSP streaming. So right here, that's the RTSP streaming address. Okay, so that's my 3 sources. They are all connected to the same switcher, which also is connected with my Q16 Pro 4 units input module, IP input module. So let's go back to the Xbox. So I'm gonna skip the steps where you're gonna search for the devices. And so right here you can see I have connected with the IP input module. So you're gonna click the network label here. So you can see right on the right all the information right here. So first of all, if you are starting to set up the IP input module, first you have to configure the IP address right here. So it has a default IP address, but you need to set the IP address to the same network segment with your, for example, the IP camera or your PDZ, where the rest of your devices send network. So all my devices, the 2 PDZ and the one encoder here is at network at 1. So I have to set my network to 1 segment 1. Okay, and the rest of it you can do a rest for the network mask and the gateway. So okay, so that's the IP set. You also support DHCP. So if you are connecting to a router, and you can turn on the DHCP. Right now, I'm not using the DHCP here. Okay, then you go to RTSP set. Okay, so that's field mode. So for 3 mode here, so 1 picture, 4 picture, and 6 picture, which means you can decoding 1 picture, only decoding 1 pictures, and 4 pictures. So if you having a 4K signal, you will choose the 4 picture or 1 picture mode, which allows you to decode 4K signal. So I'm gonna do the 16 picture here, and you're gonna input the RTSP address here. So this one is my the RTSP streaming address from my first PTZ right here. So the IP address is 1.128. And the string name here is live/AV0. So we're gonna do it here. Okay, we're gonna save here and the press set. And the second one is from my encoder. Okay, so we're gonna find the RTSP string here. Okay, so that's my IP string for the RTSP string for the encoder. So you're gonna put in the second address here, and the third one is from my second PDZ camera. Okay, so that's the RTSP string for the the second PDZ camera. Okay, so I have only 3 sources right here, so you can press set for each address, and you're gonna press set right here. Okay, this so right now we have complete the settings for the inputs. Now let's check out how to configure the output. Okay, so you're gonna create a container, then you're gonna place an output. So right now I'm connecting the HDMI 1 outputs to my Minimix, which we're streaming, which is streaming to the YouTube channel right now. Okay, so that's the output container here. So then you will go to layers. You're gonna go to the IPC right here. So that's the 4 IPC ports, and because we have 16 signals, so this first one, IP port 9.1, is actually a group of 4 input sources. The first 4 input channels here. So we have set the 3 sources as the first one, and second one, the third one. So the first sources will belong to the first group right here. So it will be the 9.11 will be the first PTZ camera source from first PTZ camera, and the 9.12 will be the our encoder, and the third one, the 9.13, will be our second PTZ cameras. Okay, so let's try to display each output. So let's go. So each sources on the outputs. Okay, let me drag, then place this one. Okay, let's check out the outputs. Gonna take low. Okay, so that's the output of my first PTZ cameras. Let's try close it. Okay, let's place another one. The second one, that's from my encoder, which is getting signal from my laptop, which is playing videos. Okay, that's the second one. And the third one is another. Okay, that's my second PTZ camera. So you can see we are decoding three sources from three different devices. Okay. So that's how we can display each. We can select each sources individually. If you were to display all together, so you're gonna choose the group, the first IPC group, the 9.1, you're going to drag to the outputs. Okay, so you will see kind of like a quad display, a 2x2, but we only have three sources. So the last one is blank. The first one on the left is my PTZ camera. The second one is the feed from my laptop. And the third one is another PZ camera. Okay. So you can also use the layout. You can adjust the layers on the Q16 Pros if you want to do something like this. Let's see. I'm gonna add the source one by one. So you're gonna split the output in three ways. Okay. So you can choose different sources. Okay, so you can just place the source at the position we would like. Okay, so that's how you can decoding sources from the network, IP string sources from the network, and you can display on the output as the layout you want. So you can support the IP input module support up to 16 decoding 16 H.264, H.265 sources from network. So if we have multiple IP cameras with or PDZs, or for example, up to you have more than 16, if you have surveillance projects where there are 20 or 30 more cameras in these projects, you can install multiple IP input modules, like if you have more than 30 IP cameras, you will install 2 IP input modules. If you have more than 40 IP camera, you will install 3 IP input modules, depending how many IP cameras or IP sources you have in your projects. So this is the IP input modules. It's great for a project like surveillance or control room where you have multiple PCs that's supporting transmitting signals through the IP. Okay, so that's all for today's section for Q16 Pro 4 units. So we check out the IP input modules and how to configure the inputs and how to configure the outputs. Okay, and for the min-mix, we check out something new, which is the quad video layers display on the outputs. This is kind of like additional feature or trick features that if you have a project where you require to display 4 video outputs together on the programs, then you can use that layouts for your projects. Okay, so thank you for joining. Thank you for coming to our YouTube channel today. We will have another webinar on Thursday this week. We will continue to talk about Minimix and the Q16 Pros. If you have any interested topic or any questions you want to see, you want to ask, or you want to check out on our webinar session, you can leave the comments in our YouTube channels. Okay, and remember to subscribe our channels. You will always see the latest news from RGB Link and what's new about our products. Okay, so thank you for joining us today. It was great to having you all here, and see you on Tuesday. So this is Luke. We are on live in Xiamen at RGB Link's headquarters office. See you next webinar section on Thursday. Bye.